Rip. Cut. Drill. Attach. 7-step, easy, no cost, Carpenter bee trap. Seven steps and you can build a no-cost Carpenter bee trap today. We want you to live happy, fun-loving, and Carpenter bee free. Carpenter bees do damage to primarily bare wood. Your house, garage, barn, chicken coops, runs, many things made of wood. They make a small hole and bore into the wood to lay their eggs. They will bore new holes every spring, and the babies that hatch out repeat the process. Unchecked, they will turn your wood into Swiss cheese. Man, they're super efficient, destructive little critters. So, I did some research and a bit of online shopping. I discovered a typical trap costs $20 to $30, which, hey, that's a fair price. I'm not complaining. But we want to live self-sufficient and self-reliant, and to do this, we can't be a consumer, a shopper, and buy every single thing we need. And neither should you. So, I wanted to build a simple design. There's lots of plans out there for different designs, but some of them sure don't seem too easy to actually build. I mean, the most common homemade design is a block of wood that you drill a big old hole up through the bottom, and then you drill holes in the sides at a 45-degree angle. And yeah, you're perfectly supposed to hit the center hole. Yeah, right, like that's gonna happen. I thought and drew, and thought and drew, and thought some more, and drew some more. I believe I came up with my own easy-to-build, unique design. And most important, I used all items that I already have available. I didn't purchase one single thing to build my Carpenter bee trap. First, I grab an old piece of 2x4. I rip off the two edges to make the 2x4 perfectly rectangular. Then I measure off 5-inch sections for the 4 sides. The pencil lines just ensure that I make a good straight cut where I want to. Then I'm cutting each section. They're 5 inches long. You want them to all be exactly the same length. Then I draw a line where I'm going to drill the hole that the Carpenter bee will enter in the trap. You want a really steep angle for your entry hole. So I'm marking them down about 3 inches from the top. So it's a 5-inch piece of wood and the hole's about 3 inches down. I'm going to drill a 1/2 inch hole, so I'm just drilling a pilot hole. This way the drill will be able to, when the 1/2 inch drill bit will have something to follow. And again, you want to steep at least 45-degree angle. It doesn't have to be exact. The steeper the better. And I just sand off the hole to make it smooth so the bee doesn't have any rough edges. It's a nice round hole for them to enter. Then I like to drill pilot holes for my big wood screws. I'm using galvanized deck screws. And I drill a pilot hole that's almost as big as the deck screw. This way, when I put the two pieces of wood together and I tighten the screw down, it'll draw the pieces of wood real tight together. If you don't have a pilot screw, it's hard to get the wood tight. And then they might split too, especially small pieces of 2x4. Then I'm just drilling a little bit of a countersink hole so the screws will drop below the surface. And you can see the steep angle. So the bee goes in, and the shadow, he can't find his way back out. Get all 8 screws started, 2 in each piece of wood. And I just screw them together, making sure that the ends line up so all 4 pieces are exactly smooth on the top and the bottom. This will be the 4 sides. Make sure you put them the same direction so the holes run in the same way. There'll be about a 1-inch square hole in the middle, and then the 1/2-inch hole angling up. And the bee travels up the hole and then sees the bright light down at the bottom. And because the holes are steep, they don't see, it's dark, they're shadowed, so they can't find their way back out. You can see the 1-inch square hole in the middle. And the angle in, so the bee goes in through the hole on the outside and then gets up inside and can't find his way out. I just used a little piece of plywood for a top. And I had an eye hook laying around that I used to hang it on. Make sure it's nice and square. It's just a bee trap, not that it has to be perfect. And 4 screws to hold the top of the trap onto the 4 sides. Again, I'm drilling a small pilot hole through the very center of the lid of the mason jar. It's a canning jar, so you have the ring in the lid and the glass jar, and then you drill the 1/2-inch hole. Then you attach the lid with a couple little screws to the wood. Now I'm using a mason jar, we have them handy, and it makes it a little bit more attractive, but you could use a plastic bottle, like a sport drink, anything. As long as you can drill a 1/2-inch hole in the middle and have enough that you can screw on the lid and attach it to the bottom of your trap. Two screws should be enough to just hold the jar on. Fingers crossed, I hope. And then screw on the jar, and there we're basically all done. One no-cost bee trap. I decided to go ahead at the last minute and put some wood putty filler over the screws. They're sunk in pretty far, and I don't want the bees to mistake the screw holes and try to figure out how to get in and then end up chewing through the wood in the screw hole. And I hope this is better than batting with a badminton. And there's the finished trap hanging up on the eave of the house. And I plan to make a bunch more of them. Carpenter bees discover one of the outer holes and they crawl up inside to lay their eggs. Once they're inside, because of the steep angled tunnel that we drilled, they can't see how to reverse their way out. The drilled holes are dark. They see the light coming in through the hole at the bottom of the trap, and they crawl out into the glass jar. If you have a friend that's having a problem with carpenter bees, please share this video with them. And if you have any questions, please ask. We are more than willing to help you because we truly want you to succeed. We want you to pursue your self-sufficient life dreams. Live life doing it yourself. Bzzz.